stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. There's a life I could have known. Things aren't always as they
This is Jonathan Wilburn, and you're listening to Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky's new home of great gospel music, 7 days a week. WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
Hi, I'm Bill Gaither, and thank you for supporting the ministry of this gospel music station.
WSGI AM 1100 Springfield's God Informer. You're listening to the world's best music, good news music, gospel music on WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
This is Reggie Smith with the Gaither Vocal Band, and you are listening to one of Southern Gospel's finest stations.
The home of great gospel music, WSGI AM 1100 Springfield's God Informer.
Hey, this is Adam Crabb with the Gaither Vocal Band, and you are listening to one of the best Southern Gospel stations.
WSGI AM 1100 Springfield's God Informer.
Hi, I'm Bill Gaither, and thank you for supporting the ministry of this gospel music station.
WSGI AM 1100 Springfield's God Informer.
Hey, this is Wes Hampton from the Gaither Vocal Band. Thank you for all the support you've given our ministry over the years.
And keep listening to AM 1100 Springfield's God Informer.
And because this is really the fifth Friday, so we
one street over there's a life I could have known. One beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I had today. I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve, because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I could have known, but things aren't always.
Looking for answers in the real estate community? Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty can give you the answers you're looking for. Maybe you're wondering if it's time to buy. Is it time to sell? You're older. Is it time to downsize? Rebecca can specifically answer that question because she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So she's specifically trained to answer those questions. When it comes to selling, would you like to have a marketer on your team? Barry is a marketer. For 17 years, he was a vice president of a media marketing company in Nashville. Now he's a broker in Springfield for Exit Prime. Rebecca's office is an agency office up in White House. They combined the two to bring you Exit Prime Realty. Same great Exit team, just a new branch in the tree. No matter what your needs are, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're from Robertson County. They've been here for nearly 30 years up in Cross Plains, but they're originally from Kentucky, so they also know the nuances of buying and selling in Kentucky and all the surrounding areas. Reach out to them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know you turned Central. How's life going? And just encourage each other.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded like dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I had today. from my home. Cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve, because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I love today.
That's so cool.
One street over there's a life I could have known. Things aren't all one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I have today.
This is the weekend you need to get out to the races. Veterans Motorplex, they're racing every Saturday night through October. Of course, weather permitting, that's why you need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. Follow them at the old webpage. Whenever they switched over to Veterans Motorplex, they had 19,000 followers, so they hung on to that old name. You'll find it on social media, Highland Rim Speedway, but that's where you check out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. One of the best kept secrets in Robertson County, racing every Saturday night on a quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring. Fun for the whole family.
Get out to the
you can get out there. Veterans Motorplex. They're racing every Saturday night through October. Fun for the whole family. Of course, weather permitting. That's why you need to follow them. That's their first summer job. $40 ticket will get up to old webpage. Whenever they switched over to Veterans Motorplex, they had $19,000 ticket. Can't beat that. Got hung on to that old name stand. You'll find it on social media. Getting out to the races. You see, that's where you check out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. One of the best kept secrets in Robertson County. Racing every Saturday night on a quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring. Fun for the whole family. You can get out there. It's in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. Fun for the whole family. A lot of the students in the area, that's their first summer job. $40 ticket will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. Can't beat that. Got a great concession stand. You're going to love getting out to the races. You see Jerry telling you turn sunshine.
Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I have today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I could have known. Things aren't all one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today.
Looking for answers in the real estate community? Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty can give you the answers you're looking for. Maybe you're wondering if it's a time to buy. Is it time to sell? You're older. Is it time to downsize? Rebecca can specifically answer that question because she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So she's specifically trained to answer those questions. When it comes to selling, would you like to have a marketer on your team? Barry is a marketer. For 17 years, he was a vice president of a media marketing company in Nashville. Now he's a broker in Springfield for Exit Prime. Rebecca's office is an agency office up in White House. They combined the two to bring you Exit Prime Realty. Same great Exit team, just a new branch in the tree. No matter what your needs are, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're from Robertson County. They've been here for nearly 30 years up in Cross Plains, but they're originally from Kentucky, so they also know the nuances of buying and selling in Kentucky and all the surrounding areas. Reach out to them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know you turned sunshine.
One street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wonder what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I could have known. Things aren't
Are you
always
looking for answers in the real estate community? Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty can give you the answers you're looking for. Maybe you're wondering if it's a time to buy. Is it time to sell? You're older. Is it time to downsize? Rebecca can specifically answer that question because she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So she's specifically trained to answer those questions. When it comes to selling, would you like to have a marketer on your team? Barry is a marketer. For 17 years, he was a vice president of a media marketing company in Nashville. Now he's a broker in Springfield for Exit Prime. Rebecca's office is an agency office up in White House. They combined the two to bring you Exit Prime Realty. Same great Exit team, just a new branch in the tree. No matter what your needs are, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're from Robertson County. They've been here for nearly 30 years up in Cross Plains, but they're originally from Kentucky, so they also know the nuances of buying and selling in Kentucky and all the surrounding areas. Reach out to them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Let them know you turned Central. This is the weekend you need to get out to the races. Veterans Motorplex, they're racing every Saturday night through October. Of course, weather permitting, that's why you need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. Follow them at the old webpage. Whenever they switched over to Veterans Motorplex, they had 19,000 followers, so they hung on to that old name. You'll find it on social media, Highland Rim Speedway, but that's where you check out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. One of the best-kept secrets in Robertson County, racing every Saturday night on a quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring, fun for the whole family. You can get out there. It's in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, fun for the whole family. A lot of the students in the area, that's their first summer job. $40 ticket will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. Can't beat that. Got a great concession stand. You're going to love getting out to the races. You see Jerry telling you the real estate community. Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty can give you the answers you're looking for. Maybe you're wondering if it's a time to buy. Is it time to sell? You're older. Is it time to downsize? Rebecca can specifically answer that question because she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. So she's specifically trained to answer those questions. When it comes to selling, would you like to have a marketer on your team? Barry is a marketer. For 17 years, he was a vice president of a media marketing company in Nashville. Now he's a broker in Springfield for Exit Prime. Rebecca's office is an agency office up in White House. They combined the two to bring you Exit Prime Realty. Same great Exit team, just a new branch in the tree. No matter what your needs are, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're from Robertson County. They've been here for nearly 30 years up in Cross Plains, but they're originally from Kentucky, so they also know the nuances of buying and selling in Kentucky and all the surrounding areas. Reach out to them today. You need to get out to the races. Veterans Motorplex, they're racing every Saturday night through October. Of course, weather permitting, let them know that's why you need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. Follow them at the old webpage. Whenever they switched over to Veterans Motorplex, they had 19,000 followers, so they hung on to that old name. You'll find it on social media, Highland Rim Speedway, but that's where you check out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. One of the best-kept secrets in Robertson County, racing every Saturday night on a quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring, fun for the whole family. You can get out there. It's in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, fun for the whole family. A lot of the students in the area, that's their first summer job. $40 ticket will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. Can't beat that. Got a great concession stand. You're going to love getting out to the races. You see Jerry telling you turn St. John. Come on. And I would think, I haven't seen this in 2 years and the same thing.
One street over there's a life I could have known. One beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded like dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I could have known. Things aren't all one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
This is the weekend you need to get out to the races. Veterans Motorplex, they're racing every Saturday night through October. Of course, weather permitting. That's why you need to follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. Follow them at the old webpage. Whenever they switched over to Veterans Motorplex, they had 19,000 followers, so they hung on to that old name. You'll find it on social media, Highland Rim Speedway, but that's where you check out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. One of the best-kept secrets in Robertson County, racing every Saturday night on a quarter-mile, high-bank asphalt bull ring. Fun for the whole family. You can get out there. It's in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. Fun for the whole family. A lot of the students in the area, that's their first summer job. $40 ticket will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one $40 ticket price. Can't beat that. Got a great concession stand. You're going to love getting out to the races. You see Jerry telling you turn sunshine.
Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. Times gone by, I've traded black blood into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street
coming at Oakland Baptist Church. And Brother Doug, you said, is your preacher. And now you said, Brother Doug, what is his last name?
Thornton, ma'am.
Doug Thornton. And he's been, you said it, the pastor there for about 3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So where did he come from? Is he from this area?
White House.
Okay.
He was at Grace Park.
See, his name sounds familiar to me. I feel like I've met him before, maybe.
He is originally from Missouri.
Okay, but that name
That's
just
where he
really
was.
rings a bell with me, Doug. I need to, I don't know, for some reason I feel like we've crossed paths somewhere before. But, so he's doing a great job in the pulpit. I'm guessing he'll be preaching that day.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, sometimes a homecoming, they'll have a guest speaker or something like that. But he'll be preaching, and let's kind of go over the schedule one more time before we get off on another just rabbit trail with some of the things I want to ask y'all. So this is all on September 8th, so it's not this Sunday, it's next Sunday.
ma'am.
So unpack the schedule for us again.
We'll have worship service at 9:30. No, 10:30.
10:30.
At 10:30.
Uh-huh.
And after that, we will have a meal in our fellowship hall.
Uh-huh.
The church provides the meat, and we provide the vegetables and desserts.
Okay.
We get to go home and take a nap. Somebody gets to clean up the fellowship hall. Then we get back at church at the service. The singing starts at 6, and we're always there a little early because you've got to greet people.
Oh, yeah.
You need to tell them where the bathroom is.
Yeah,
You know, different things like that.
Yeah.
And we've got desserts afterwards.
Okay, it'll be a fun night. It'll be a great time. And there's no charge, but they will take up a love offering for the Perrys. The Perrys are going to be the group that's going to come and sing. And so they'll have a love offering for them that they'll take at the end of the night as well. So it's going to be a wonderful day, and it's their 136th homecoming. That's a long time. Is it in the same place, or have you moved? Or do you know if is it the same location?
It's the same location. It originally started where the parsonage is. That was a school.
Oh,
And then they came over and built the church, just part of the building. And then they ended up tearing the school down and built a parsonage. And I'm thinking, I was told that was in the 60s, but I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Well, you know, those little schoolhouses, that was the thing. If you figure if he's 136 years old, that was, you know, that was back in the 1800s. My grandfather, actually, who would be, I don't know how old Papa would have been, but he was 90-something when he passed, and he passed when my twins were like 3 or 4. So he'd be 120, somewhere in there, if he were still alive. So he was from that era, and he was a one-room schoolhouse teacher at one point, along with all the other stuff he did. And, you know, Bill Jones likes to tell stories about some of the old schoolhouses and things around here. So there were just all kinds of them in the little communities and things like that. So that's interesting. So it got started. You know, we were talking to South Haven yesterday, how they had their church in a school, and that's kind of, you know, there's a lot of churches, they start with educating the kids. And And people don't realize that our foundation as a country, our textbooks were the Bible.
Amen.
Learn about the Aiken Bible. And have y'all ever heard the stories about the Aiken Bible and the first published
I don't think
Bible
so.
and how it was considered to, be something you need to take into the school? David Barton, are you familiar with the work of David Barton?
I'm not familiar with that.
You would love him. You need to look into it because wall builders. Have you ever looked at wall builders? Okay, that's your homework. That's your homework, Eddie, right there. Because with all the stuff you've been saying to me and you've never looked at the work of David Barton, it's good
Do
stuff.
I write the name down?
David Barton, and it's wallbuilders.com. Wallbuilders.com. David is a guy down in Texas that is, he set out to preserve the documents, the authentic documents that our founders wrote that just show the foundation of our country was founded on God. Period. I mean, it's just not a question. There's just no question about it. It's just right there. And he's just wanting to preserve things because, and he's him and Glenn are friends, but their thing is, and Glenn's big on preserving history. And because if we don't have the actual things they wrote, people will be like, well, it didn't happen. Yeah, it did. It's right here. It's right here. You probably can't read it because you can't read cursive writing, but you know what I mean?
Yes,
They've
ma'am.
got these actual documents, amazing letters and artifacts and things that just blow your mind. Oh yeah. You'll love that. I guarantee you're going to be reaching out to me and go, oh, you were right, LaVern. That's cool stuff. But yeah, David Barton and Wall Builders, and his son is kind of taking on the, that work now, but they put together, the Founder's Bible that's got, it's a Bible. It's like, I think it's an NIV translation, but they just kind of brought in the stories where this founder said, I looked at this scripture, those things, and tied in. And it's just a beautiful thing. But it was one of the things that we promoted when I was at the Blaze and I got to know them. But yeah, you would love you would love David Barton. Betcha. That's your homework.
That's my homework, man.
That's your homework. But talking about the foundation of Oakland Baptist, and where we got off on that is there was a schoolhouse, then they built the church, and if you really know our history, the foundation of our education was the biblical text, and that was the foundation of it. And I think that's just so beautiful. Y'all have got that wonderful history. But they're having their homecoming. I'll just kind of recap it for them real quick. The homecoming is next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, morning worship with Brother Doug. Will be there. Doug Thornton, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Brother Doug Thornton will preach at 10:30. And do y'all have Bible class?
We will not have it that morning.
Okay.
But we normally do. I have the schedule for our church and what we do, ma'am.
What you do normally? Well, let's finish unpacking the homecoming, and then
Yes,
you
ma'am.
unpack that for us. So on the homecoming day, next Sunday, 10:30 worship, and then you're going to have a fellowship meal. They're going to provide the meat, but if you're coming, you want to bring a dish, bring something, some desserts or some sides or something like that. Then they come back together at 6 p.m., and there's going to be a gospel concert featuring the Perrys with a love offering picked up for that, but there's no charge for anything, just a love offering if you want to contribute to that. But while we're on the subject of the schedule, so tell us, what is the normal schedule? When do you have Bible class versus worship?
Yes, ma'am. We have our Sunday school at 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
At 10:30 will be our worship service. On Sunday night at 6 o'clock, we have Bible study or whatever direction Brother Doug has gone in and teaching. On Wednesday night, we have Bible study. And again, whatever direction that he goes in.
Right.
And Darlene has a schedule here for you, ma'am.
Okay, so what time do you meet on Wednesday, did you say?
6 o'clock, ma'am.
So it's 6 o'clock on Sunday night and 6 o'clock on Wednesday night.
Yes,
that
ma'am.
makes it easy. So sometime in the evening. So what kind of, have you got a teaching schedule that they're doing?
Okay. We are finishing up The Great Disappearance with Dr. David Jeremiah. He's he's done the study on that. We are going to start beginning September the 15th, showing the 4th season of The Chosen.
Oh.
So we have seen all of The Chosen.
Love The Chosen.
Amen.
And he's also going to September the 4th, which is a Wednesday night. We'll meet and have a short business meeting, and then we will be studying Slaying the Giants in Your Life.
I love it. And that's next Wednesday night. Yeah, because, I mean, we're at the end of August, y'all.
Right.
Can you believe it? Oh, it's like Labor Day's on Monday. Programming note, we're not going to have a show on Monday. You told us to take the day off. Lee Marie's like, can I do a show? And he's like, take the day off. Take the day off, Lee Marie. So ILU's making us take the day off on Monday. So everybody take a day off on Monday. But, well, that sounds like a wonderful schedule. And I love that y'all are showing The Chosen. Oh, I just love that show. That is just, man, it's anointed. And everybody's like, but they still do things that aren't in the text, but it's like we're supposing. You know, I read, if you've never read the work of Bodie and Brock Taney, and it's spelled Thoene. It's pronounced kind of different. It looks like thumb, but it's Bodie and Brock Taney is how you say it. They are amazing authors. And I first was exposed to a supposing. You know, we take what we know from the biblical text, what we're certain of. And then what was it like for the blind beggar at the beautiful
Amen.
gate? What was life like for him? Wonder what his name was. And you have to make sure that you understand the separation of what is written and what is supposed. But we can suppose so much when we know a little bit about the history. And we're learning so much more. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to I know we're at war and Israel's at war right now. But the discoveries at the actual city of David, they've had old Jerusalem, they've had the city and the temple suspected where it's supposed to be. They've had it in the wrong place. And where they're digging now in the city of David and the things that they're finding is breathtaking. And it is just going to get bigger and bigger and better and better. And so we learned so much about what life was like then. Because they're finding they're finding perfect evidence of it in these archaeological digs. And I mean, we can suppose what life was like.
Amen.
And so why not do that? Because it makes them more real. It brings them to life in a way in our life that just changes your life. I think we're seeing revival right now.
Yes, ma'am.
There are some people that you're like, they became Christian? Really? I'm thinking about Russell Brand. I don't know if you don't know who that is, but he was just kind of I think he got famous on Survivor, that show, and I've never watched that show. I don't have any idea of the characters on it, but he was kind of connected with a pretty heathen existence, and he has become a Christian and is very vocal about it and talking bold about it and has been baptized. And I mean, it's like, wow. And you talk about a life transformed, and to be so vocal about it makes a difference.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've seen all these kids getting, coming to Jesus on these college campuses and these mass baptisms and all this. And it's like, wow. I think I was talking yesterday about I think it's Ohio State, their football players recently. And that's one of the most recent stories I've seen, but they're just doing these little revivals on campus. And it's incredible what's going on. So I don't know. And I feel like things like The Chosen, that's just making it, I mean, it's global, and people are going, this Jesus guy was real, and wow, what he did. And when you really start studying it, there's just no denying it. If you really, I tell my kid that's out wandering right now, that's not a person of faith, I said, you're going to find what you seek. But more people, I think, are seeking it because they're looking at The Chosen going, maybe there's something to this. And then they're hearing about this archaeological evidence coming out of Israel, and they're going, what? There's two seals. I can't remember the gentleman's, there are two of the people who ministered to the last king. Is it Zedekiah that was a king whenever the Babylonians came in?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's Zedekiah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
they were serving him, and they didn't like Jeremiah because Jeremiah was saying, you just might as well go because Babylon's coming, you done. And they didn't like that. And so they're like, we need to write something and say he is, nobody will listen to him. We got to get rid of him. And so they mentioned they mentioned 4 different ones that ministered to the king. 2 of the names of those people who would have written letters and done correspondence and things for him. So they're digging in this area, which is the city of David, they call it in Israel now. And they're digging, and probably, I don't know, it was right before COVID, I think, is when they found these. They've come across these 2 seals. It's their names. 2 of the names.
Amen.
That are in Jeremiah talking to King Zedekiah. They found their seals, guys, where they stamped their letters. I mean, what? I mean, that's incredible. When you find archaeological irrefutable proof like that, you know, and just the things that they're finding in the city of David is breathtaking, and it's all biblical. It's all just right there. They're going, well, it says right here, and now we dig in here, and there it is. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible stuff. But I think that's bringing that revival on. People are just we're just at a day and age where so many questions are getting answered.
Amen to that.
It's just, man, it's a cool time, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, it
really is. It excites me. But anyway.
People don't know exactly how to believe until they see something they can put their hands on.
Yeah, you know, and of course, you know, faith, we're supposed to have the faith to do it. But, you know, we're in a time that people are like, well, how do you know that? It's like, because I study it, and it's just real. It's just what it is.
One of Brother Doug's great things that he's doing, he's into prophecy a lot, and he really he just comes all excited. Have you heard this? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
He's just all excited, you know. And he said, you know, you can't doubt the Bible or who Jesus was.
Yeah.
It's just too much out there.
It's cool. It's neat stuff. We're talking with Eddie and Darlene McKnight, and you know, we got about 10 minutes left, y'all. And I mean, we're just been all over the place. I wanted to ask you your service. When did you serve, and what branch? You served in Air Force, you tell me?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. You had a lady on the other day from VA.
Yes.
And she was talking about in the 60s. Well, that's I graduated in 1967, and of course the Vietnam War was going on, and I wasn't going to go to college because I didn't do great in school, so I wasn't going to college. So I joined the Air Force. I wasn't going to have anything to do with the Marines or the Army. Air Force is more of a support group.
Yeah.
And so I joined the Air Force in '67, and I took my basic at Lackland Air Force Base, and then they sent me to a great city, Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston Air Force Base. And I stayed there for 13 months, and then they sent me to Vietnam.
Wow.
In 1969,
God bless
the
you.
spring of '69. I was stationed at a place called Nha Trang Air Base, and stayed there until January of 1970.
Wow.
And then rotated back home. And then they sent me to a cold place, Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, and Westover Air Force Base. And that was a very cold snow in April. And,
Yeah.
So, but that was my experience. I was a security police for the Air Force.
Well, thank you for serving. That's wonderful, especially boy serving during Vietnam. You know, in the 60s and all that. That's when my friend got killed. He was Army. But so when did you meet this beautiful lady?
Well, we dated in high school.
Oh,
I was 15.
Oh my! So y'all been married since you were 15?
No, we got married when I was 18.
Okay.
I had to be able to be of age. My parents wouldn't sign.
Well, see, I grew up in Kentucky, and I mean, a lot of my friends got married 16, 17. It was not unheard of. I don't know how old my sister was when she first got married, but then I had a cousin that married a girl I went to school with, and they got married our junior year. So she would have probably been 16, 17. So yeah, so that's good. And y'all been together how many years now?
Oh, we've been married 54.
Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. Y'all are adorable. That is wonderful. But so you were married when he was in the military, and
well,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
he came back from Vietnam, we went to Massachusetts.
okay.
And two little Southern people up there in the north, it was so different.
I know. Well, see, my husband, you know, if you've heard the show, you know he's practically from Canada because he's from the Upper Peninsula. But so and it's super cold up there. But I love it. I love going up there and being in the deep, deep snow. It's fun, you know. But I get to leave it and go home. I don't have to stay that long. My relatives up there, they're like, "Shut up, LaVern. It's cold and there's a lot of snow." But so how long were you in Minnesota?
No, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
We were up there for 18 months or so.
Okay.
That's where our first daughter was born.
Aw.
And we were so glad to see the last of it.
Yeah. So
and come back.
Did you get back to Tennessee then right
we
away?
did.
Okay.
18 months later, we were back here. And I was so glad to see my mother and know that I could go home and see her real easy.
Yeah. I bet for sure. So when did this whole journey with Captain D start, though? 30 years and the fact that you're a married couple and you were the management team for Captain D's for 30 years. How did that start?
Well, I was job hunting for quite a bit, and wound up with Shoney's Incorporated,
Okay.
who owned Captain D's at the time, and I worked company at the company stores, and then this Captain D's down here is a franchise, and we worked for a beautiful, beautiful religious couple called Bob and Faye Fullwood, and we started work with them, and it was an awesome, great time. Very good Christian people and very patient with a lot of our stuff. So we stayed there for 30 years, and yes, at times we would go home and we would have that discussion. Why did this decision be made instead of this decision? But it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah. Did you?
That's why I've got white hair.
Oh, really? Do you have any customers you just remember that were just tried and true and always there? And
Yes.
do you have any
Yes.
stories you can share?
Well,
Let me do my ad and we'll come back. I got to do one more ad and we're coming up on the end of the show, and we'll circle back around and go through this stuff at the church again one more time. But I do wonder, because were you 30 years here in Springfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. I know some of the people have out there got to know you guys, because my mother she was a tried and true Captain D. She loved that stuff. And so she would have been one of your regulars. She loved all that stuff. That's awesome. But we're talking with Darlene and Eddie McKnight, and they are with the Oakland Baptist Church, and they've got their homecoming next Sunday. I want to invite you out to that, and we'll go back over that and just all the things. I've had so much fun talking to them this morning on our Faith Friday segment. We've covered a lot of stuff. Hope you'll share this, and you'll have to share this with all your kids and grandkids, and let them see it. They'll probably learn a little something about you. We want to invite you to come out to the Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. Veterans Motorplex at the Rim, they've done a lot of stuff out there, guys. They had a big renovation they did right the first of the year. Their season runs March to October, but we got a little bit of a late start because of all the extensive renovation they were doing. And now they are just going full blast through the end of October. Will they go on into November? It just kind of depends on what kind of weather we get, because sometimes they get rained out. So if they feel like they've got some races they need to make up, and they can, sometimes they'll ease over into November. But typically it's March to October. Racing every Saturday night. Gates open at 4:15. Racing starts at 7. $40 ticket will get your whole family in, as long as you don't have more than 6 kids. You can get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for a $40 ticket price. If you're a single adult, it's $15. You can get a senior price of $12. I think that's the student price as well. But great time to have at the old Highland Rim Speedway. It's Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. I love what Jerry's done with the place. It's a family-friendly environment, great concession stands, no alcohol served, so you don't have to worry about any of that if you bring the family out. But it's a quarter-mile, high-banked asphalt bull ring, fun for the whole family. Come on out to the races. You don't know what you're missing if you haven't been to the races lately. They're doing it so well right in the heart of Greenbrier. This is at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. Great racing happening. If you're not there, you're missing it. You're going to want to be there. So go this Saturday and see what's happening at the races. Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. When you talk to them, let them
church stuff. I need to remember to say something about Willie and Claudia. Okay. In regard to customers, we had some of the best customers. In fact, yesterday we were at Kroger's. Employees, they were so good. They would do anything you'd asked.
Awesome.
And we were at Kroger's yesterday, and we were doing a little grocery shopping. This person came up. Do you remember me? I said, Noel. He says, you do? I said, yes. I said, we had you when you were 16.
Oh, so he worked with y'all.
He worked with us.
Oh, that's cool.
We were at Rivergate, long time, well, about 4 years ago, and we were waiting for one of our members to come out of a store, and this guy walked by. I thought, Ronnie, I know him. I know. And I walked up, I know you, don't I? He said, yes, I worked with you at Captain D's. Good. I'm not losing my mind.
Oh, how funny.
Okay, but we had one girl that was pregnant, and she was going to go in to deliver the next day. She worked until the last day.
Oh, my.
We had customers that would come in and bring cookies and presents for our employees.
Oh.
Yes, we had some that we just Oh, God, they're coming in again.
Oh, yeah, the ones that were difficult. Yeah. Always have those.
But we have memories, and I am so thankful for the memories.
Yeah, and working with us. What years were you there?
We were
1978 to 2008.
Wow. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's neat. Okay, I know some of y'all recognize that. That's great. So but we've got to get back to the church stuff. We've only got a few minutes left. Now, who was the couple you needed to mention?
We have recently had a young couple to start going, and they're working with their youth.
Okay, good.
It is Willie and Claudia. It's a married couple. Now, Willie is 6'5".
Okay, well, this could be in my family.
Claudia is 5 feet.
Oh, bless.
Okay, and we're looking for children.
Yeah,
we have the people to work with them. We're just trying to find children to come.
Some kiddos in there. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. So I invite you to bring your kiddos if you're looking for a congregation. We got to find a church. Find the church that you can go in, and they're going to help you just get closer to Jesus. And it's also give you a place to help others get closer to Jesus. Because when you get in, you got to plug in, you got to serve, because it just changes everything. It just changes everything. So let's go back through. Remind me again who made these beautiful crosses. These are wonderful.
This is a wonderful lady. Her name is Miss Doris.
Okay.
And this is her ministry. Yes.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful, handmade. I mean, that's just gorgeous. It's beautiful.
This is what she does when she can't go to sleep at night.
Well, she does a beautiful, beautiful job. Tell her thank you very much. And I will absolutely share a couple of those with somebody else. But let's go back through. Let's first unpack what your normal week schedule is, and then let's unpack what the homecoming schedule is. So what are your services like? Go ahead. We'll let you, Eddie, tell us about your services.
Okay, ma'am.
Normal services. Okay.
Okay. On Sunday morning, our Sunday school starts at 9:30. Mm-hmm. We have 4 different classes, and a mixed group, a women's group, and the youth. And then we also at 10:30 we have our worship service. Brother Doug, we have a choir. They make a beautiful sound. Then on Sunday night at 6 o'clock we have the worship service, whether we study or we've been doing Acts, we've been doing the rapture and other things. And Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, more Bible study. One thing about Brother Doug that is always awesome, he is a great teacher. Not only does he preach the gospel, but he explains it in such a way that you just feel the Spirit. So that is our worship service, ma'am.
Okay, very good.
And he didn't say we're on Facebook.
Oh,
so
very good.
Could watch it on just on Sunday morning though.
Okay. So if you're shut in, you want to check out a service. I watch a lot of different services all throughout the week. But so you can check it out on Facebook. But the thing that they came to promote, we'll hit it one more time, Brother Doug. We'll hit it one more time. So unpack for us the schedule for your homecoming. It's next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Go for it.
We will start it at 10. Our worship service at 10:30.
Okay.
Dismiss and go to the fellowship hall and have a delicious meal provided by some lovely hands. Yes. Then we get to go home, take a nap. And then we will come back at 6 o'clock. We'll be there about 5 for our members to bring in the desserts that we're going to have afterwards. So this thing starts at 6, and then we will dismiss to the fellowship hall and eat again.
There you go. But after you hear the Perrys.
Okay, now Brother Doug is doing a choir thing. He does our choir. We do have choir on Sunday night at 5:15. Okay. They have a choir practice.
Okay. Well, very good. Anything we're missing, you guys?
I think we've
I've tried to write down.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'll keep this in here in the studio so we can talk about it next week and continue to invite people out. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, we're out of time. It's 8 o'clock. It's time to go. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hope y'all have a wonderful, go see that great grandchild. I know that's where y'all are headed, and I got to go.